Hi there, my name's Arthur, and I'm going to spend the next 8 or so minutes telling you why I think DNS filter rules and showing you how quick and easy it is to get set up for your organization. Why should you worry about DNS security at all? Well, DNS is the backbone of the internet. Pretty much everything you access and use today in conjunction with the online world is going to leverage DNS in some way. For better, like visiting kittens.com, or for worse, like some sort of bad actor sending you to a phishing site. In every case that you access something by a host or domain name, your device is going to send a request to the DNS server it's been told to use and ask, hey, where does kittens.com live, as an example. And the DNS server will say, at 1.2.3.4, and then your device will connect to that via the IP address, and everything is wonderful. Where DNSFilter comes in is by taking the worry out of your internet activities by leveraging a number of DNS security solutions that will ensure that you're not caught unaware by a risky click or a malicious application, and if you have a need of it, even filtering out content based on criteria that you provide. Because this is all happening at the DNS level, it's happening before your users or even their devices know any better and can be caught off guard. DNSFilter makes it so easy to get started, you can be up and running in less than 10 minutes. And if you don't believe me, I'll bet you a donut. Of course, there's going to be a lot of things that I don't get a chance to cover in the interest of time, but do feel free to reach out if you have questions on things I don't talk about or even some of the stuff I do. You're going to want to sign up for a free trial, link is in the description. We do give you 2 full weeks with an unrestricted feature set to make sure that things are working properly and providing the coverage that you're looking for. Now in this instance, I've already completed that step, so you won't see it here. I'm logged into my dashboard. So we need to start by creating a policy. Your policy is a set of rules that govern how we'll handle your DNS requests and what is allowed versus what's blocked or restricted. First, we'll click on Policies, then Filtering, and then we can click on the Add button. First, we have to give our policy a name. I recommend you keep it short and to the point so you can remember what the focus of the policy is, but I've always been partial to the name Henrietta, so that's what I'm going to call mine. We hit Save to get the policy saved, and then the first tab we're going to hit is the Categories tab. These are the 39 different content categories that you can use DNSFilter to prevent access to. They're all pretty self-explanatory. I like to say if you think you know what category a site belongs to, you're probably right, but we do give you this domain lookup tool accessible right here to check. You can punch in any domain, see how we categorize it, and some other information. To filter a particular category, you can simply click on it. When you click the button and it turns blue, this policy is now going to block access to those sites. You get it? Blue for block? I'm here all week. Moving on to the Threats tab, we have 11 different threat categories that DNSFilter can protect you from. They're all pretty self-explanatory, and my recommendation is almost always leave them all turned on and deal with things on an exception basis rather than leaving some of them off and getting caught unaware. Our App Aware feature will let you automatically block specific applications from our list of 86 and growing applications in 12 different categories without having to constantly worry about new domains or servers that those applications might be using. Say we wanted to make sure nobody was playing Roblox at work, we can just scroll down, toggle on the blocking for Roblox, and there'll be no more gaming on company time. Under the Privacy tab, we have some advertising and tracking blocking that you can enable, but I do always like to mention this comes with an asterisk because the internet runs on advertising and tracking, and sometimes when you block advertising and tracking, other sites may not work quite as well as you want them to. By all means, I'm not saying don't use this feature, I'm just saying be prepared for the occasional phone call saying what's going on, why can't I look at site X. Under the Safe Search section, you can also choose to enforce safe search in the search engines that support it at the DNS level, as well as forcing YouTube to use restricted mode. Both of these options are content specific and will block certain types of content from being returned as well as hide certain comments. These are a complement to the rest of the content filtering categories that you can choose, but they are completely optional. Your allow and block list sections are exactly what they sound like. Lists that you can add individual hosts or domains to that will either be automatically allowed or have access blocked based on the list you add them to, regardless of any other filtering settings you may have configured, such as categories or threats. And we do also give you the ability to upload an entire existing list of domains in either of these sections to avoid having to add them all one by one. Last but not least, we have our lab section. We use the lab section to house features that may be in active development or experimental in nature, which can potentially result in an increased rate of false positive detection. Our last few toggles are for things like parked sites, so typo squatting domains that are farming search engine clicks, as well as uncategorized sites. We also have our brand new first site filtering feature. When this is toggled on, anytime your users visit a domain that DNSFilter has never seen before and has no record of, we will attempt to classify it in real time, and then the user will be allowed or prevented from accessing it based on the policy settings that you currently have applied. All of these are optional, but I do recommend turning all of them on as well. And just like that, we've built our filtering policy. So I'll go ahead and click Save Policy in the corner here, and then we're done with the most important part of DNS filtering. We should just also set up a nice quick block page so that we can control what our users see when they do get blocked. So let's click on Block Pages and then the Add Block Page button. We need to give our block page a name, just like our policy. We'll call ours Block Page. And then we'll put in our organization name, as well as the email address we'd like comments to go to. This can be your personal email address, a ticketing system, your boss's email address, or a completely unmonitored inbox. Maybe you don't care. Whatever works for you, no judgment from this side of the fence. Finally, we can upload our company logo so that users know that this is coming from us as a company. As a fun side note, this field will accept an animated GIF file. Use that knowledge wisely. Once we've done that, we can hit save, and it's going to take us back to the main list. We can go back into the entry we just created, hit the preview button here, and we'll see exactly what our users see when they are blocked from accessing a site. So you can see our logo, you can see the company name. We do have the ability to click here, open a little form, and send an email. That email will go to the notice email address that you configured as part of the block page setup a moment ago. Once we're happy with that, we just need to configure our deployment. There's 3 different ways you can mix and match DNSFilter deployment in your environment, but for this example, we're going to say you've got an office full of employees that all really like clicking on links in random emails. All of these people work from a central office and go home at night without worrying about work or taking home their laptops. We need to create a site for that office, so we'll go ahead and click Add Site. We'll give it a name, something catchy like Central Office. Then we'll choose the policy and the block page that we just created from the drop-down menus so that we know what's being applied and shown to the users. And then the last step is we just need to register the IP address or addresses that this central office will be sending requests from. In my example, pretend I'm in that office while I'm setting this up, so I can just click Fill Current IP, which will insert my current WAN IP address, and then I can click Save. Now, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to set the DNS servers of the machines we want to protect to the DNSFilter IP addresses of 103.247.36.36 and 103.247.37.37. We can do this on the individual machines, we can do this on the edge router device setting the DNS forwarders, or we can hand out these addresses via DHCP from the router itself. Entirely up to you. It's all going to get us to the same end result. And that is that we're done. Our entire network, our PCs, our printers, our smart thermostats, and our internet-connected hair curlers are all behind some of the most robust DNS security on the market, and it took us less than 10 minutes to get going. Thanks so much for checking us out, and let us know if you have any questions.